Hey everybody, this is Dead Winter Dead with another Battlefield 4 video for you. Well, it happened. The patch that dropped on January 30th, 2014 for BF4 improved the DMRs. We were told that there was some weapon balances on the horizon, and they were absolutely correct. The DMRs have got some love. And I know that I think this is going to be a polarizing issue. There are going to be people who absolutely love this, and there are going to be people who absolutely hate it. Now, I'm using the very first one, like the default DMR, the RFB. I have never used the DMRs. I think I got this Coyote sight in a battle pack unlock or something like that. These are literally my first 10 or 15 kills with this weapon. I am a little spammy with it. This really isn't supposed to be a review, and it's not really supposed to showcase, you know, my super ninja skill with the weapon. I just posted this because I wanted to talk about the update. Now, like I said, this is probably going to be a very polarizing issue. There are going to be people that love it. There are going to be people that hate it. I, for one, am not going to jump to conclusions. For those of you who have been a part of the Battlefield community and played these games for a while, you know that patches come out, and sometimes there has to be a patch to patch the patch. And that's just the way it is. You know, maybe in another month or another, 7 or 8 weeks, DICE will decide, well, maybe this wasn't such a good idea, or maybe we buffed them too much, so now we're going to tone them down a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. My personal opinion, as of right now, I had fun. I had fun playing with this RFB DMR. It was a load of fun. The one thing I think that we can all agree on, whether we are DMR whores or whether we are DMR haters, whether we agree with the buff, whether we disagree with the buff, the one thing I think that we can all agree on is that horrendous, terrible, terrible sound effect that they chose for these DMRs. I mean, that sound effect, it's stupid. It's not meaty at all. It's this little, pew pew pew. And, we've all had those moments where we're running across an open field and you just hear that stupid little, that little pew 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 just whizzing past your head because somebody is just spamming that DMR trigger, hoping to get a couple of rounds on you. It's just, it's I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of wait and see how this pans out. I'm gonna run with some of the DMRs. I'm gonna rank some of them up, get some of the unlocks, try my hand at it. My second best weapon in Battlefield 3 was actually the G3A3. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, the G3A3 was an assault rifle. Yes, technically it was in the assault rifle class. But in modern militaries, and I don't know if any of you know or if any of you remember, I'm currently in the military. I'm in the United States Army. I'm a United States Army Ranger. I have been for 10 years. I have multiple tours under my belt. I have fired the G3A3 in real life, but I've never fired it in an actual combat situation. But in situations where I have seen the G3A3 used by foreign armies on the battlefield, it operated in a DMR capacity. Now, one of my roles in the military in real life, I am a platoon designated marksman. So I do carry, along with my M4, I carry a DMR. It's basically a heavily modified. I don't want to get into the details of it, but it's an additional weapon that I carry whenever longer shots are required. Whenever my platoon sergeant tells me, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, and that's when I break out that secondary weapon. It's a lot of gear to carry, but I definitely have an easier job than some of the guys in my platoon who carry heavier equipment, or the 11 Charlies who are carrying mortar tubes and shit like that. So I'm getting a little off tangent, but my point is I do have experience with designated marksman rifles in real life. And my second best weapon in Battlefield 3 was the G3A3. It was a load of fun. I had a lot of fun playing that weapon, and it was one of those weapons where if you got good at it, you kind of felt like you had achieved, like, oh man, I got good at this weapon. This weapon it packed a huge punch, but it had so much recoil, and it had a low magazine count. It was just ridiculous. And it was fun to hose people down with the G3A3. You know, they would kind of look at the kill cam, and you could just imagine them raging. They're like, the G3A3? What are you talking about? No one uses that. And, you know, I'm kind of hoping that I can find a DMR. You know, if the G3A3 doesn't make a return to Battlefield 4, I'm kind of hoping that I can find a DMR that will kind of fill that role for me. It was just it was really fun, and I found that I played a lot slower, and when I did get out of hairy situations, or when I did pull off a nice long shot, it was rewarding. You know, it was rewarding, and I enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I can find a DMR that will kind of fill that niche and just kind of bring an extra level of joy for myself when I play. The RFB is probably not going to be that weapon. It doesn't feel right. It feels very papery. It feels like a pea shooter, and we have to admit that a lot of times when we use a weapon, you know, not only because of its stats, you know, and that mysterious weapon X factor, that kind of attachment we have to how the weapon operates in the virtual battlefield, but it's also, you know, hey, does this weapon look cool, or does this weapon sound nice and meaty? I mean, that's one of the things I love about the 240 Bravo. It's just got that meaty chug, 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 and it gives some weight to it. I mean, I know, you know, I'm using a keyboard and mouse, so obviously I don't feel the weight of the weapon, but you know what I mean. You know, the sound effects often have an effect on you subconsciously and how you perform, and most of us find it difficult to separate that. You know, guys who, you know, maybe play video games professionally can separate that, but for the rest of us, just Joe Schmoes, it's difficult to separate that, because it's a big part of the game. It's part of the immersion, and if immersion is kind of broken, then the gameplay suffers, and that's just the way I feel about it. So I'd like to hear in the comments what you guys think about the DMR buffs. Have you tried it out? Have you not tried it out? I don't have a lot of the details available, but I do know that one of the main things they were striving for, which it might not sound like a lot, but it's actually a big thing. You know, most of the DMRs, the way they were in their previous state, it took, you know, they were 4-shot kills basically. Now that's being reduced to, you know, the damage is being increased so that they can reduce that to a 3-shot kill at range. And I think they also may have reduced some of the penalty for kind of rapid firing, you know, so that you can have more accurate follow-up shots. Because I mean, essentially, this is, you know, a 200 or maybe 250 round per minute weapon, and you can fire it as fast as you can spam the trigger. But I guarantee that there's nobody spamming their mouse button at 800 rounds per minute or at 1,000 rounds per minute and competing with a FAMAS or, you know, an MG4. No one's doing that. So that's kind of the trade-off, is that, you know, the weapon will fire as fast as you can click the mouse button, but you have to be able to get your rounds on target as well. So, you know, it's not just a matter of spamming that button. But I have heard that about the DMRs, that they're just kind of spam cannons or noob guns. I'm not sure what people call them or whatever. But I'm gonna try them out, and I'm gonna give them a shot and see how they feel. If they you know, if I can get, you know, a few hundred kills with various different DMRs, then, you know, I'll start showing some DMR footage and maybe do some reviews of these weapons. So tell me in the description or in the comments below, you know, what you guys think about this. Have you tried it out? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Anything's welcome. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and pass it on. And I hope you guys enjoy this new patch. My name's Dead Winter Dead. Thanks for watching.